May 1st, 2023, deep in the Amazon rainforest of Colombia. A small plane crashes into the jungle canopy. 3 adults are killed. The 4 children on board survive. The oldest is 13 years old. The youngest is 7 months old. They are alone. Their mother is dying. The jungle around them is one of the most dangerous environments on Earth, full of snakes, jaguars, flash floods, and starvation. No adults, no rescue, no way out. What happened next over the next 40 days is the most extraordinary survival story of the 21st century. And the girl who made it possible was a 13-year-old child named Leslie. To understand how these children survived, you need to understand who they were. Leslie, Solani, Tien, and baby Christine were members of the Huitoto, an indigenous group from the Colombian Amazon. They grew up in Araraquara, a remote village deep in the rainforest, surrounded by jungle from birth. From the time they could walk, Huitoto children are taught the jungle, which plants are safe to eat, which fruits are poisonous, how to read the forest, how to find water, how to build shelter from leaves and branches. The jungle is not something to be feared, it is home. On the morning of May 1st, 2023, their mother Magdalena was taking the children on a short domestic flight, a Cessna 206 carrying 7 people, from their village to the town of San Jose del Guaviare, about 350 kilometers away. 40 minutes into the flight, the engine failed. The pilot sent a mayday signal. Then the plane fell silent. It nosedived into the dense jungle canopy and disappeared. The crash killed the pilot and an indigenous leader on board instantly. Their mother Magdalena was critically injured but alive. Leslie, 13 years old, pulled herself from the wreckage. She found her siblings. Then she spotted her baby sister Kristen's foot sticking out from beneath the debris and pulled her free. For the next 4 days, Magdalena clung to life in the wreckage. She spoke to her children. She told them what to do. She gave them her last instructions for survival. And then, on day 4, she died. Before she died, her final words to her children were simple. Go, leave me, look after each other. And so a 13-year-old girl, carrying an 11-month-old baby, holding the hands of her 9- and 4-year-old siblings, walked away from her mother's body and into the Amazon jungle, alone. Back in the outside world, the search had begun immediately. Colombia's military launched a massive operation, deploying helicopters, reconnaissance aircraft, and soldiers into one of the most impenetrable regions of the Amazon. For 2 weeks, they found nothing. Then on May 16th, 15 days after the crash, searchers finally located the wreckage deep in the jungle of Caquetá province. They found the bodies of the 3 adults, but the children were nowhere to be seen, only a tiny pair of abandoned shoes, a baby bottle, footprints leading away from the crash site. They were alive. The Colombian army immediately escalated the operation, codenamed Operation Hope. They sent 150 soldiers with search dogs into the jungle. Dozens of volunteers from local indigenous tribes joined them. Helicopters began dropping boxes of food into the jungle canopy, hoping the children would find them. Planes flying at night fired flares into the darkness to help ground crews navigate. And in a move that became iconic, they mounted loudspeakers on aircraft and broadcast a recording across the jungle. It was the children's grandmother, speaking to them in the Huitoto language. Leslie, this is your grandmother. I am asking you a favor. You must remain calm. Stay in one place. We are coming for you. Please stay put. Deep in the jungle, 4 children heard their grandmother's voice echoing through the trees. We don't know if they heard it, but we know they kept moving. And we know they stayed alive. Here is where the story becomes truly extraordinary. Most adults, even trained soldiers, would struggle to survive a single week alone in the Amazon. The heat, the insects, the flooding, the wildlife, the complete absence of landmarks or direction, the psychological weight of being utterly lost. These children survived 40 days. How? Because of who they were. As Huitoto children, they had grown up learning the jungle from birth. Leslie knew which palm seeds were safe to eat. She fed her siblings seeds from the bacaba palm and avicura trees. She retrieved cassava flour from the wreckage before they left. When that ran out, she found fruit and plants that she knew by name. She fed the baby by mashing fruit and dripping it through leaves into Christine's mouth. Because there was no bottle, no formula, nothing. She built shelters from leaves and branches, keeping them dry during the Amazon's torrential rainstorms. She kept her siblings moving but never panicking. And when she found boxes of food that the military had dropped from helicopters, she knew exactly what they were and how to use them. Think about what this 13-year-old girl was doing every single day. She was keeping a baby alive in the Amazon jungle. She was feeding, sheltering, and protecting her 4-year-old and 9-year-old siblings. She was navigating without GPS, without maps, without any adult guidance. She was grieving her mother. And she was doing it all while being a child herself. She didn't break down, she didn't give up, she just kept going. On June 9th, 40 days after the crash, something remarkable happened. A Belgian shepherd rescue dog named Wilson, working with the Colombian army, picked up a scent trail in the jungle. He began pulling his handler forward through the undergrowth. Then, Wilson broke free of his leash and disappeared into the jungle alone. The soldiers followed his trail, and in a small clearing, barely visible through the thick canopy, they found them. 4 children. Thin, covered in insect bites, malnourished, but alive. All 4 of them, alive. Colombian Special Forces airlifted the children to the capital, Bogotá. When President Gustavo Petro announced the rescue, he said simply, "An example of total survival which will remain in history." Across Colombia, people poured into the streets. Churches held services. The story spread to every corner of the world. It was front-page news in every country on Earth. And then, in a twist that almost felt scripted, the rescue dog Wilson was found to be missing. He had gone so deep into the jungle tracking the children that he couldn't find his way back. The Colombian army immediately launched a 2-week search operation just for the dog. They sent 70 men into the jungle to find him. They never found Wilson. He is still out there somewhere in the Amazon. A dog who saved 4 children and then vanished into the jungle he had just helped conquer. The 4 children spent 34 days in a military hospital in Bogotá, recovering from malnutrition, dehydration, and hundreds of insect bites. Baby Christine, who had turned 1-year-old somewhere in the jungle, was the most fragile but recovered fully. The story was turned into a Netflix documentary called The Lost Children in 2024 and a National Geographic documentary in 2025. Their names became known around the world: Leslie, Soleini, Tien, and Kristin. The Colombian general who led the rescue said the children's survival came down to 3 things: the will to stay alive, their indigenous identity, and the fact that they knew the jungle. Indigenous leaders from across Colombia gathered outside the hospital to perform ceremonies of gratitude. They burned incense, sang in their native language, and celebrated what they called a demonstration to the world of what indigenous knowledge truly is. Think about what this story actually means. For 40 days, while the world searched desperately above and around them, 4 children, led by a 13-year-old girl, were surviving the Amazon jungle on nothing but knowledge, courage, and love for each other. Leslie Mukutui is not a trained soldier. She is not an explorer or a survival expert. She was a 13-year-old girl who loved her siblings so much that she refused to let the jungle take them. And the jungle, one of the most unforgiving places on Earth, let them go. The story of Leslie and her siblings is one of those rare moments in recent history that reminds you what humans are actually capable of. Not governments, not armies, not technology, just a child, her instincts, and an unbreakable love for her family. If this story moved you, and I think it will, drop a comment. Tell me what you think about what Leslie did at 13 years old. I genuinely want to know. And if you found this channel for the first time today, every week we tell stories like this one, the real ones, the ones that actually happened and sound impossible. Subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Leslie, Soleini, Tien, and Kristin, the 4 children of the Amazon. We will not forget them.